Welcome to the Profits and Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle D, or Coach Danni D, and I help women to create luxury brands by creating processes and tightening their branding. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease and enjoy your life. My happy space is spending as much time as humanly possible in my pajamas, and I want to help others to find their happy space while still running profitable businesses. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello and welcome to the Profits and Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danni D. Always here to try to get you to that holistic success that includes your work, your life, all the things so that you can find that elusive balance and live a life that is full of joy and fulfillment. I am so excited today to bring you my guest, Keena Nelson. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her and then we're going to, just jump right on in. So, Keena Nelson is a goal success life coach, helping women professionals to gain clarity, confidence, and the strategies to launch and grow their business. So, welcome, Keena, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity to just tell us about your entrepreneurial journey because I that's my favorite thing. I love to hear about how people got there.
All right. Thank you, Danielle. It's a pleasure to be here. It really is. And like you said, I am a Go Success Life coach. I'm also an avid gardener, Detroit native. Go Lions.
Okay.
Yes, I'm pulling for my Lions for the Super Bowl. Maybe our curse is lifted, prayerfully.
Look, my team ain't nowhere near it
uh,
except the fact that it's here. So like I'll
I,
root for your
I
Lions for now.
part to New Orleans and the tragedy of what happened. So yeah, my heart goes out to you all, the whole community. So as far as Goal Success Life Coach and my entrepreneur journey, so it's a funny one too. And I've been in corporate IT for 27 years, but I've always known that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I tried everything, really. I did. I sold knives. I still use those knives to this day. I did candles. I was a catalog saleswoman. I did Amway. I was just trying different things, even almost about to start greeting cards and doing printing. I really did for my church, but none of that kind of panned out because it was fun, but it wasn't me.
Hmm.
It was like, okay, I could just do something that's real easy. So that's what I was thinking, that I can do this. And this is all while trying to work in corporate IT, uh, having kids, raising a family. And I just stopped, because I was like, you know what, this ain't working. And I know it can't be this hard. It really should. Why is everybody getting successful except for me? That's what I was thinking. And I met with a mentor and she said, you know what? You already do this at work. I said, do what? She's like, you coach. I said, I do. She said, yeah. Because I served as a mentor, a trainer for my department, for two departments. And I'm always helping people with their career, getting them successful and in their personal lives. I didn't know that coaching was such a thing that you can do outside of your job. I mean, really, I was just laser focused. I just want to be an entrepreneur. That's it.
Hmm.
Until she told me about that. And I did my research. I was like, whoa, well, I really could do this thing. And so that's why I became a life coach first. But a life coach is so general, right? You
Right.
can't serve everyone. So you have to narrow it down. And I always was in that goals. I said, oh, there's such things as goal life success coach. Let me go there. And I started there and I love it. I love it. Just helping women just to get to what they want to be in life. That brings me so much joy just to see someone else like I made it. I could
I
provide for
loved
my
it.
family. I could provide for my community. Could just build me. So that's my entrepreneur journey.
I love that so
And
much.
besides that, I
And
also had coaching.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. So, like, there were several things that you said
Yeah.
that jumped out at me. And that was
Okay.
one of them,
Okay.
having coaches. A lot of times we want to do this on our own.
Oh,
And
yes.
as I have two businesses. One that I kind of like, scrimped and, did on my own. Of course, with other influences, not saying that, but just not with a coach, right? And
Yeah.
then, in the second business, working with a coach, and I'm like, whoa, like, so, that 10 years that it took to get to where I needed to get to didn't have to happen, right?
Right.
So I love that you said that about, working with a coach.
Mm.
One thing that you said that stuck out to me that I
Okay.
think happens to a lot of us is that we have a skill set that we don't recognize as a skill set, because it comes naturally to us, right? Because
Hmm.
I feel the same way about coaching. Like, I never thought about it as a thing, right? Because it's just how my brain works. Like, it's how my
Yeah.
brain operates. And so, like,
Correct.
I even had a experience with a client where she was like,
Mhm.
I'm putting all this information in a portal for her to like work on. And so I was like, "Oh yeah, I sent you that." And she was like, "What are you talking about?" And I realized she was not going in the portal. She just wanted to have a conversation with me.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was like, "Oh." And like, I never thought about it like that. I'm thinking about like the technical side of it, but not the
Mhm.
other side.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
So,
Apparently.
I want to encourage the audience, like, think about some of the things that people come to you for or compliment you on. Like, those are some of your greatest skills, but they're so normalized to you that you may not even realize that they are, like, somebody else is sitting there like with their mouth open, like, how did you figure that out? Or how did
Right.
you come to that? So, um, I heard that in there. And then I also heard I tried a bunch of different things. And sometimes we are so hesitant to try different things. But I think the beauty was like that you tried a bunch of things, but then you also realize quickly like these things are not it.
It was becoming an expensive hobby that it wasn't even business. You know what I mean? Because I was just spending money and just trying to get it lifted and buying this program and getting this coach. And they got me to where I needed to be. But it was like, did I need it to go this route? Can I just go straight? I could, but I went everywhere. I did. And and you know why? Because I didn't have the clarity of what I wanted to do with my business. I didn't. I really didn't at all. And that's why I said I really want us to focus on clarity because when you starting out, because that's going to build your foundation
Absolutely.
so much. And that can stop you from going, left, right, you're going from A to B, but you went to A1, A2, A3. You went to C, you skipped B altogether, which you should have just started with B.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I love this topic. And I think it's so important. And I want the listeners, turn your listening ears on,
Yeah.
because I think on the other side, that's what I see most often is that, for some reason you are resisting that transition from A to B, and you will go everywhere. You done been all the way through the rest of the alphabet to Z and never want to step into that A to B. And it's kind of hard sometimes as a coach, seeing people on that, like, it's like,
You can
what you
see it, they
doing?
can't. Yeah.
Like, why do you not want to seek the clarity? Because, I can speak from my own experience. When I didn't have the clarity
Okay.
was when every time a shiny object popped up, I was like, oh, and jump
Right.
into that new shiny thing that I thought was going to be the big break or the big difference maker, or, buying new equipment or buying new product, based off of this shiny
Right.
thing. Whereas at this point, if something pops up, I can easily be like, nope, that's not it because it's not in alignment. Because I have clarity. Like when
Right.
you have clarity, even though something may be a good opportunity, you know whether or not it's a good opportunity for you.
That is true. That could save frustration, the stress, and spending your money that you really don't have, you know. But also clarity, like you said, why are you not why can't you see the clarity? It also goes to self-esteem and your confidence level and your skills and the clarity and the responsibility of taking on that responsibility. It really is. It's like, oh my gosh. Because you probably heard that term afraid of success.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are afraid of because they're not really understanding it. You don't need to be afraid of it. Of course, anything you start something new, you're going to have some frustration. It's going to be some uncomfortable, situations that happens. But having that clarity, like, okay, I know I need to do this. Let me get over myself because I'm holding myself back.
Right.
And having a support team. I mean, really, it takes so much. Not just, oh, I got clarity. No, it's a lot goes into it because you got to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself, no matter what. Like for those who starting out in business, okay, what's your business? Like, do you want to have an online business? Do you want to have a product based business, a brick and mortar business, or online? Who's your target audience? What skills do you really want to help your clients or your customers transform into? How you want to grow your business? It's a lot that goes into it. Not even though it's a lot, but there is a process. It
Yeah.
is. It's a process, but we got to get over ourselves. I had
Yeah.
to. I had to learn that.
Definitely
I had
that
to
get
learn it
over
for
yourself
real.
part. No, I mean, because
Yeah.
I like I don't know any better way to say this but to just say it straight. Being a
Mhm.
entrepreneur is a whole lot about working on yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like as
You
far
got to
as
grow too.
like
Mhm.
the steps to running a business, those are out there. You can go talk to somebody in your industry. They can
Oh
run you
yeah.
down all the
Mhm.
plays. They could give you the playbook. But until you work on self, that playbook is not going to be, like, I'm an analogy girl, and like you, I'm a football girl too.
Hey.
So you could give me the playbook, right? You could tell me
Right.
this is the playbook, this is how the team is gonna run the plays.
Hmm.
I don't know the last time I stepped my foot in the gym. So you can give me that playbook all day long, but I'm not going to be able to go score that touchdown because I have not conditioned myself to be
Right.
able to execute. And
Hmm.
that's where that piece of clarity, that confidence, all of that comes into play because, we have to be able to withstand all of that. And that self doubt
Right.
will put
Yeah.
you in that corner where you're like,
Have you stuck for real? I mean, really to the point you don't want to do anything. Then you get frustrated. Like, why are you frustrated? Because you didn't do it. You didn't do it. The thing is, and we have to stretch that comfort zone. You have to stretch that comfort zone. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere.
so
And
if somebody like, okay, so I'm sitting here, I'm listening, and I'm just like, what is a step that I can take to start to get towards that clarity?
it's a simple one, but it can also be a humbling one. It's the journal.
Mm.
That way you write down your deepest thoughts, how you feel about you, your family, the world, but start there is to journal your thoughts towards your business, even towards yourself. Because you will find in journaling and as you writing, pen to paper, it's something about that pen to paper thing. It's like your
Hmm.
thoughts is getting down on paper. God see what you're writing. Oh, okay, let me bring this to fruition. Oh, okay, this person is doubting me. Okay, let me show her my love. It's something about that. It's a connection right there. Um, I didn't think about doing journaling until my coach, she said, you need to journal and get your thoughts down. And I did. And you will see that your skills, it's just something inside. I don't know if your spirit just like it just pours out into you. Just on that paper, from that your mind, your heart to that pen to that paper. And as you review your journaling, your entries, you will see, oh my gosh, I have everything I need. Or I know who I can contact. I am enough. I really am. And that's the starting point. But the other one, like I said, being honest with yourself. You have to be honest. Do you really want to go into business? Because it's a lot to go into business. You know, it is some blood, sweat, and tears, but that's okay, right? Because we want to grow. And you must understand your why. Why do you want to do it? Because your why got to be bigger than your distractions.
Absolutely.
That's a start right there. I have a lot more to go into because you can write down all your goals you want to have for the whole year. Really, just write down, just start jotting them down. Don't even put really a thought to them. Just write them down. Then you can group them into months, like 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6, 9 to 12 months, and then within that first group of set of goals, look and see, okay, what goal I really need to get focused on. Why do I want to focus on this goal? And keep asking yourself why until you can't answer it anymore. Because once you find that why, I mean, like I said, that has to be bigger than your distractions. That why can serve as your foundation. That why can because you need some motivation every now and then. So those are a few steps really to even start to gain clarity, especially in
So
your business.
so I want to slow you down just a little bit because I want to pull out a couple of things that you said,
Okay, you
right?
excited? I just
No,
I
no,
just
no.
went out.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
It's just a couple of things I don't want the audience to gloss over a couple of points that you made.
I
One,
got it. Yes.
the
Yes.
journaling. The journaling
Hmm.
and you got to it before I did because I was waiting for you to pause to say about go back to honesty, but you put that right back in there, the
Okay.
journaling and that honesty, because we really do have to be willing to be completely, vulnerable and open and
Yeah.
honest if we want to get to the root of things, if we want to, repair things, if we
Uh,
want to gain that clarity. Because a lot of times we see somebody else is doing this and they're successful at it, and we just want to emulate what they're doing. But we, you can't be
Right.
them. You have to have your own persona. You have to have your own why. And that was the other thing that you said that I wanted to kind of just pull out is
Okay.
when you said to continue asking why, right?
Mhm.
And I see a lot of times, like if I ask somebody what their why is, they're gonna say, "Oh, well, I do this for my kids, or I do this for,
Mhm.
legacy, or I do," and it's very kind of superficial and generic. You need to get down
Right.
to like the nitty gritty,
Mhm.
like rawness of the why, because when you do that, especially as you talked about looking at your goals, when you do that and you look at your goals, there are going to be times you're going to look and say, I don't even need to be doing this thing. Like
Right.
this
Mhm.
doesn't fit.
Right.
I thought
Right.
it did, but it doesn't
Mhm.
even fit. Like again, we look at what others are doing, so we say, "Oh, well, I know this person and they're wildly successful and they did this."
Right.
And that might have been very crucial for their journey,
Mhm.
but it may not make sense in your journey. So that may not be the next step or a step at all in your journey. But if you're
Are
not
so
looking
right.
at those whys, almost like the little children, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there? Like you got
Right.
to get that annoying with yourself with those whys.
That's why I said it's a humbling experience because you're gonna find out more about yourself, really. Just even in just that little part of journaling. And journal every day, whether it's the beginning, the middle, or the end of the day. And having that discipline to journal because that does help a lot, and it also can release some stress too, because sometimes you got to deal with people. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Sometimes, well, I I did
Yes.
this thing last year and I had never done this before. And it was an emotional brain dump
Okay.
journaling session, right? So I've done brain
Right.
dumps before, a million times,
Okay.
but it was an emotional brain dump. So basically, set a timer for
That's good.
15 minutes, get a piece of
Mm-hmm.
paper, and then just write every emotional thought that you are having, right? And
Heard
I
that.
was
Yeah.
surprised. Like, I was like, oh, like I didn't realize what I was feeling until I was like, oh, Jesus, wow. That explains a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I share that to say, if you are struggling, because I know a lot of people struggle with journaling. Like
Yes.
it doesn't come easily to them. But if you're struggling, set a timer.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes if you just go and pull out that journal and you pull it out for a couple of minutes, you just gonna write surface stuff and then you're gonna get up and go ahead about your business. Set that timer because it's only so long you can sit there staring at the paper and the paper staring at
Mm-hmm.
you
And your heart is
before.
beating, because you want to say something. Just say it.
Right. That truth gonna just start coming out, and
Yeah.
just let it flow how it flows. It's only for you. It's not, you don't have to post it on
Right.
social media. Nobody else have to
No,
ever see it.
don't do that.
But
Don't
it's
do
a
that.
process for you to be your most honest self
Mm-hmm.
in a way that,
Right.
nobody else um will see or
Mm-hmm.
understand.
Right. That is so true. And only you can do you. Because I brought this analogy to my group. The restaurants. Let's take fast food for instance. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. What they have in common? They sell burgers, right?
Yeah.
They got cheeseburgers, they have shakes, they have fries. Of course, they have their own other menu items, but McDonald's burgers are different. Take a Big Mac versus a Whopper versus a Wendy's Dave number one special. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I love Wendy's, so I know the numbers. The number one combo. They all have the same thing, but they have their own flair. They have their own taste, right?
Right.
But they all successful. And to you, audience, you have skills as well over here. So, like Coach Danny and I, we're both coaches. She has her flair, I have mine, but we both serve it
Right.
and we're both successful. And I love that. So, that's what that journaling, knowing your why and sticking by your why, not mama's why, not daddy's why, not
Mm-mm.
grandma's why, your why, not even society's why, your why.
And I love that example. I tell you I'm an analogy girl, so I love
Yeah.
examples. And what's coming to my mind in that example is, like you said, they all have their own flair. They
Mhm.
don't try to be each other.
That's true.
They don't try
That's
to be each other. Like, you know, like I love McDonald's fries, but like Wendy's and Burger King are not trying to make their fries, like they have their way that they're doing it, and so they
Mhm.
lean heavily into their own strengths, their own way. And
Right.
I think sometimes we are fearful to do that. We want
Mhm.
to blend in, but we're not
Yeah.
made to blend in. We're made to stand out. And what makes you stand out is leaning on the things that make you unique, the things that make you
Mhm.
different. And when
Mhm.
you put that out there, your audience finds you.
That's right. And that's where I was about to go because they do have their own audience. So I take my children, for example, they don't like Burger King. But my husband and I will tear up some McDonald's in a minute. But we
Right,
all love Wendy's. But when it comes to Burger King versus McDonald's, me and my husband going to McDonald's, yeah. They don't even like McDonald's either. That's the thing. But they'll go to Wendy's, but
right,
they definitely not go to Burger King at
right.
all.
And see, like my husband, he loves the burgers from Burger King, but I'm like, they fries trash. So I'm like, no offense, Burger King, but
Oh well.
so he likes their burgers, but
Yeah.
I prefer McDonald's fries. Now I can't say McDonald's have a better burger or not. I don't really, that's not my jam,
Right.
but I prefer their fries. And but again, they all have their different
Mhm.
audiences,
All of that. Yep.
and their audiences are loyal to them, and that's what keeps their doors open. But I think we get so scared sometimes of niching down or getting that clarity that we're going to lose something. But
Right.
I feel like if it was that easy to lose, it wasn't really yours to begin
Mhm.
with. But it's something about connecting to those clients that are yours and them
Mhm.
seeing you and feeling that connection. Like, I know if I'm like, okay, well, Keena, let's go get something to eat real quick. You're gonna be like, let's go to
Hey,
Wendy's. I know
yeah.
that just from this like
Mhm.
conversation because that is what you are connected to. So we have to, really think about, they wouldn't have gotten there if, Wendy's opened up and just tried to copy everything that
Yeah, like McDonald's did,
McDonald's was
yeah.
doing.
Right. And look, you know how close they are in proximity. Some of them they like right there, close to
Right.
each other.
Literally across the
So,
street.
and having to say all that is, audience, you starting your business or you growing your business, don't worry about, okay, will I have enough customers? It's 7 billion people on this earth. And let's just say 1 billion of them are children. You know what I mean? But it's 6 million adults here, 6 billion adults around here. And there's an audience for you. And
Right.
there is an audience.
And they are looking for you, like you
Yes.
specifically.
Hmm.
I always remind myself as a business owner, I'm also a consumer. And so as a consumer, there's certain things that I like. There's certain preferences that I have. And if I have that preference, I know that there are other people that also have that preference, right? In the same genre.
Right.
Like I know that there are other people that are like, if they looking for fries, they about to head over to McDonald's, right? I know that I'm not the only
True.
one.
Oh no.
So think about it from that standpoint as well. Like if you are setting up your business, you are getting into that clarity of who you are and what you bring to the table. There are other people that seek those things. And we just have to learn how to talk to those people and draw those people in. But that all starts back where we started with clarity, right? If you don't
Yeah.
have the clarity, then you can't communicate it.
Right. And I've known this for myself. I had to learn it too. Once we have that clarity, our message is clear.
Yes.
If we don't have our clarity, it's so vague. Just like I said with life coaching, it's so vague because there's so many different aspects of life coaching. You can go into what niche is for you. You have to hone it down or tone it down, narrow it down to that one specific group. I mean, really, that audience going boom, it explode like wildfire. It really will. It really will. And I
Absolutely.
had to understand that, and it took me a while to get there. I was like, know what I know what I can bring to the table. How come no one's saying anything? And my coach was like, well, you're too generic. I
Mm-hmm.
said, oh, okay. You can't serve everybody. I said, that's true. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I had to, humble myself. I said that, humble myself and let me rethink this and let me go through my process again of getting that why. And I'm like, I know about why. Women professionals, I am one. And I've met so many women like in my day job uh, that they have a business. They want to move out of the corporate world, the 9 to 5, and start their own business, but they don't have that confidence. They didn't have the clarity how to do that. And I was working with them. I was like, there you go, right there. Just having a conversation, and they're like, oh my God, I don't have to wait till I retire when I'm in my 80s. I can start now. Yes, you really
Absolutely.
can. Yeah. So I know that's another topic by itself, right there.
No, but
Another
I
topic.
mean, but it's relevant and
Mhm.
I just want the listeners to walk away understanding that although it's uncomfortable sometimes to
Yeah.
figure out who you are, who your business is. I think we've all been through that of like you say, you started out
Uh,
life coach and then you got, clearer on what you do and
Right.
who you serve. And I'm gonna give this example because I know I've experienced it, and then, I know that I've gone through the process as well. But think about when you go to a networking event or you meet somebody and you say, "Oh, well, what do you do?" And we've all been in that situation where somebody like just throws out a bunch of words at you, like very generic words, and you just like,
Oh, okay.
okay, and you still don't know what that person does,
Yeah.
like you like,
Oh, man.
I mean, I don't know if
Yeah,
you
'cause
ever
on
watched
both sides of that.
Friends back in the day, but they never knew what
That
Chandler did. And he was like
yeah.
he was a transponder or something. Like they had a game and they were trying to guess what he did. I feel like a lot of times we're walking around and we've come up with this like canned response to what we do,
Mm-hmm.
but then people on the other side are like, and you do what? But they're not gonna
Yeah.
say that, but
It
they
might come off rude,
also
Yeah.
they also don't know who to connect you to, like because they don't know exactly what you do, and your audience is having that same response. They don't know quite what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you start to get this like kind of all over the place or nothing, as a
Right.
response. I met a young lady at a networking event and she told me she was a caterer. And of course I understand what a caterer is or whatever. And I said, "Oh," I said, "what is your like specialty?" Because there's different types of there's
Right.
event caterers, there's private caterers, and she was like, "Oh, I do all cake," and I was like, "Okay." And so we got into a conversation a little bit, longer and got to know each other better. And I was like, the coach and me can't leave this like this. Like, let me. I'm like, next
Yeah,
time
we got
somebody
this.
asks you that question, I need you to be able to answer. And she was like, "Well, I don't want to miss out." No, don't worry about what you're gonna miss out on. I
Right.
said, how you're gonna miss out is there's gonna be somebody who's looking for a private caterer, but I'm not gonna think of you because you
Right.
just said caterer. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but the person that I know that they, promote themselves as a private caterer is who I'm going to recommend. So
Right.
that is the difference maker. Like when people know
Mm-hmm.
precisely what you do, like some of my colleagues here, like if they need to refer somebody, they'll be like, "Oh, well, you could try Danielle, but she don't really do X, Y, and Z," because they know what I
Yeah.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you need to have that's why this clarity is so
So important.
important
Yeah.
that you dig into it and sit in the uncomfortable because when somebody when I start working with somebody and we first start talking about like, okay, who are you, who's the business, that's
Yeah.
uncomfortable, and it makes people uncomfortable, but we have to wade through that if we
Mm-hmm.
ever want to get to the real success.
Mm-hmm. Because no one can deny your hottest undeniable benefit. Call it a hub. Your message is your hub statement, and everybody will know. Danielle does this, Keena does this. The caterer is private or she specializes in cakes only. That's her
Mhm.
hottest undeniable benefit.
I
Yeah,
love that. I love that.
indeed.
I want you to say that again
Yeah.
for the people in the back.
For the hottest undeniable benefit. Once you have your clarity, you understand that no one can deny your hottest undeniable benefit hub
I
because
love that.
they know what you're about, they'll know who you for. And the success will come. Just like what is it, that movie? Oh, Field of Dreams? Is that
Yes,
the
yes,
one
yes.
where you build it, they will come. If you say it, if you get that clarity, they'll come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like,
Mhm.
and yeah, like
Sure. I know it's
it's
clarity.
hard to like explain almost, but that clarity, um, as a business owner takes you to such a different level. Like I
Mhm.
think about even something as simple as a client sending you an email, right?
Yeah.
And like before I had clarity in my business, I'm reading this email for half the day and dissecting it and trying to figure out how to respond to it, getting, 14 friends to chime in on it. Does this sound right? And, you know, whereas like once you really have that clarity, you don't your decision making is much, swifter. Like that email comes in, oh well, da, 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 send it off and keep it moving. Like there's no hesitation that, it's just it is a huge weight lifted.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And, I
It
had
is.
somebody on a previous episode talking about like your team and building your team and stuff. And it also works on that end as well because when you have clarity, then you attract the right people.
Yes. Oh yeah. Like a moth to a flame. It really, yeah, that is so true. And even when, I was doing my summit, and that was my first summit ever, and I loved it. And that's how you and I got
Yes.
connected. And I was talking with my coach. She said, because the prep work, it took some time for that prep work to understand, okay, why do I want to build this? Not build a business, but my summit. What do I want to call it? What do I want to name it? And why am I doing this summit? I still went through all the clarity exercises just just to get to the title and then the message. And it was so much easier to really to coordinate everything. Because she asked me, she said, "Are you stressed?" I said, "No, I'm having a ball. I really am. I'm connected with so
Right.
many women. It's just awesome." And I didn't feel stressed at all. I wasn't afraid. I was a little nervous because it's my first time stepping out like that, and because I always stayed in my one little group here. But no, I said, "No, I'm gonna stretch my comfort zone. Let me get out there because people really need this." And I'm telling you, the engagement was awesome. But that clarity, it goes back to clarity. That's the foundation. I didn't stress over it. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, my stuff ain't working right. It was a checklist. I had a checklist done. And like I said, it was so much smoother than just trying to wing it.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, and to your point, you know, just the title in your like call for speakers drew me in. You know what I'm saying? Like because I'm very particular about those types of things like as far
Mhm.
as what I mean, everybody putting calls out for this, that, and everything else, but I look
Yeah.
for what's aligned. And so
Mhm.
we didn't know each other before that. Like, it was just your messaging that you put out. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, I need to be a part of that. And so,
But wait a minute, let me tell you, when I put that message out first time in the group, that speaker group, it was so general. And I'm like, I didn't get no bites. I mean, no responses, no likes, no views. I was like, dang, let me redo it again. Cause my coach, she was like, we just put it out there again. So I changed some words and I said, I need speakers because I'm doing a building your business summit and we want to help women to go ahead and say, yes, you can do your business. That's words to that effect. Within, I mean, seconds, I had about 50 people say, I'm interested. And you was one of them. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, okay, okay. Yes,
but that's the
clarity.
difference maker because
Mhm.
not only does that clarity help you attract people, but it helps you attract the right people
You're
because
right, right.
I see in those groups a lot, people call for speakers and they don't give any like
Nothing.
details. And then other
Mhm.
people is like, yes, yes. And I'm like, so that means that the person asking and the person receiving don't have any clarity. And it's about to be a hot mess. Because
Yeah.
how do you know they didn't say what their platform is about? So how do you know that this is a
Hmm.
good opportunity for your business, or just like a waste of time or whatever. So like I pay attention to those things. And so when I see words that align with what I'm clear about, what I do, then I'm like, oh, that's a good fit. Let me
Right,
connect. And so that's when those
right.
connections are made. And so then, I'm on the summit, you're on my packet like that. This is like a, continued
Mhm.
relationship built off of each other having clarity.
Right. Having clarity. So we can do it. Yeah. audience, you can too. You really can. You really can.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's again, I'm always honest. It ain't the
Hmm.
most comfortable situation. I can remember sitting there and saying, "This is what I want to do," and having, different coaches like say what now? And then, but it took for me to realize, you know what, you're not digging deep enough yet. You're not really being clear yet. Or sometimes it just takes somebody's outside perspective as well.
Correct.
Like I had somebody kind of spit back to me what they thought that I did. And I was like, there were parts of it that I was like, man, that sounds amazing. And then there were other parts that I was instantly like, no, that's not it. Like, like refine that because that's not
Right.
um who I am. But
Right.
that exercise is necessary. So
Hmm.
I definitely appreciate you, sharing all of this. And I know that it, goes
Problem.
deeper and we're gonna talk in a minute of how they can get in touch with you and like, take it to the next level. But y'all get the clarity. Stop, like we started with going from A to Q
Hmm.
because you don't want to sit in that journey between A and B.
Right.
um and in your own frustration because that's where the frustration lies as well. And like you said, like with your summit, it wasn't stressful. I mean, of course I'm sure there was stress associated, but
It
it
was,
wasn't
yeah.
stressful in the way that you would expect because that clarity was there, that alignment was there. And so it starts to, it just starts to get fun. It just starts to
It, it was so much fun. I had the best time ever.
it just starts to get fun because you're
Uh-huh.
not you're that mental load is lifted
Oh. Mm-hmm.
because it's
It was.
almost like you're operating your business with a blindfold on.
Mm-hmm. And we know that's not fun at all when you trying to see. I know I can be successful. I know there are steps out there because others do it, but why can't I get there? Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna do our wrap up questions and then I'm gonna give you an opportunity to tell the audience about what you have going on right now. So my first wrap up question is what are your favorite pair of pajamas?
My favorite pair really is what I'm having on right now. So it is a short set, really. I like to wear shorts and I sweat at night, especially at a certain age, them hot
Look,
flashes
look,
kill me.
I understand. My doctor don't understand, but I understand. I'm like, girl, it's an
But I
inferno
like
every night, like an inferno. You don't believe me? Okay.
yeah. But I like the cutesy kind of pajamas too, like a little more feminine, but
Mm-hmm.
also like a little tomboyish too, because that's just a comfortable feeling for me. If I could wear a hoodie, I would,
They
but
got
that's
hoodie
just too
pajamas. So
okay.
like it's not like I need y'all to know it's not just a stick. Like I really love pajamas. So every time somebody say their favorite pair, I'm like, I got that. Like whatever it is, I have it. But yeah, they do have like the little hoodies. They got like the little thin ones too, so you don't get like super hot
So
with
I
the
probably don't like those
with the
with the
hoodie and
hood on.
stuff like that. I think I
Yeah.
got that from Target.
Okay, I'm going to look into
So
that.
yeah, so they have all of that. Like now I do have a few short sets, but I got a lot going on in the back area, so I can't really wear the shorts like that. So
Got it.
yeah, so that's not a really a thing. But um yeah, but I do love a comfy pair of pajamas.
Yeah.
So next question. My time freedom allows me to.
Do whatever I want. No,
Yes.
I'm a TV watcher. I love TV, but I love The Walking Dead, the whole series. So I catch up on The Walking Dead. I know the main one is ended, but there's some spin-offs. But I also love to read and I always go out to my garden. Right now I'm just planning it now for the upcoming season. But when I'm in the gardening phase, I'm out there daily. And that's my peace right there. and I always tend to my plants. I'll have a lot of house plants too, so I'll talk to them. They act like they're my children. So that's
I
my
do
free
not have a
time.
green thumb. I really don't. I want to, but it don't work out that way. But I do like every spring I usually plant like new flowers in our like little windowsill
Oh yeah.
thing, and I enjoy it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not my
Yeah, like
it's
yeah,
not my
that's
skill
okay.
set. Like I'm not hardcore with it. Like there's something therapeutic about it, but I also am not consistent with it. So I'm just gonna just call it what
It's
it
all
is.
right. It's
It,
all good.
it's me. It's
At
not the
least you
plants.
know.
It's me.
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
what's the best advice that you can give anyone seeking the profits and pajamas lifestyle?
Okay. I would say don't do it by yourself. You
Mm,
don't need to. There is support for you. It is. I I started out like that and got nowhere. But there is people who ready to support you in this profits and pajamas lifestyle. And it's a fun way to do it. Don't expect everyone to be on board, but you can build your own squad.
right.
As Dr. Monique Toussaint said, business owner success squad. You can build your own success squad. And there's an audience for you. Like I said, 7 billion people in the world that just claim 1 billion of them are children, but 6 billion people, there is an audience for you. And
Yes.
people need to know your skills and they need you. They do. They need
Yes.
you.
Yes. And I
Hmm.
love the building of the squad. Like you cannot do this
Hmm.
alone. Like
Yeah.
and I often refer to it as like my board of directors, and not everybody is even a business owner. Like there's some people that they whole job on the board of directors is to make sure that when I need a laugh, they got a laugh, and when I need to cry, they got a tissue. Like,
Uh,
that's
uh-huh.
just they're just support, and other people who, maybe journeying as well. And I may have this skill set, they have that skill set, but together we help each other down the road.
Iron,
So
iron. Yes, indeed.
yeah, so we need each other. We need to stop feeling like if we don't do it all on our own back, it's not
Right.
successful. It's so much easier. It's so much easier when you have a coach and when you have a team.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Indeed.
easier.
It is. So much easier.
Okay, so what's going on in your world? What do you want to share with the audience? And how can they get in contact with you?
Okay, right now I am put together a masterclass on really of my coaching program. I call it Meet Your Success. And in that, we also tackle clarity and it's also building your business too, whether you're starting from scratch or you want to grow it. Or if you're just having some issues, just like, okay, what processes do I need to have for this business that I have? Because I did a survey and a lot of people like, I just don't know what to do. I said, okay. So I have a master class that will be ready in February. So that
Okay.
is what I'm doing. And people can reach out to me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. And I'll send you the link. If anyone wants to schedule a breakthrough strategy session, they can too. So I'll send you my calendar so people
Okay.
can book it
Awesome. Yeah, and
with
I'll
me.
put that in the show notes. All right. Well, I want to thank you for being here. I want you guys to, I always encourage you whenever guests come on and they are offering something, I want you to go and take advantage of what they have out there. I take pride in bringing people to you that have good energy and that I know are committed to their client's success. There's a lot of people that's out there, but
Yeah.
the common thread of the people that I, gravitate towards are that we are invested in success, not just building up our clientele. So if you are
Right.
trying to get that breakthrough, if you need that clarity, make sure that you're on the lookout. Make sure that you schedule an appointment so that you can get clarity and so that you can start to, advance in your business because that's the thing we all want. We all want the growth in our
Yes.
business, but without clarity,
Mm-hmm.
growth is just almost like a curse, if you don't have that
Yeah.
clarity, because it becomes way more complicated than it
And it
needs
needs
to
to be
be.
right. And we don't want you to doubt yourself. So
No.
yes, I have fun. I thank you for having me, and I look forward to us working again as well.
All right. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh no. What? Look. Once you're in the family, you're in the family.
That's
Understand that.
right. Hey, that's what I say. Hey,
Look, I understand that. I have separation anxiety, so you in, we good. Uh,
right.
so understand that, and just even on that note, y'all look
Mhm.
out for, there will be a lot of collaborations and other things
Oh,
between the myself and the past guests, and the past guests and each other. So be on the
yeah.
lookout for that, because just like you said, we have created a community, and
Mhm.
that support for one another, and
Right.
growth in each of our businesses. So
Right.
thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. And thank you guys for listening in. And I will see you guys next week.
Thank
Thank you for listening to the Profits and Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with ease. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram. For more information about building your luxury brand, register for my upcoming luxury brand workshop at CoachDanniD.com.